How you doing?
Good, Dan. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Where are you at?
What's that?
You proud of Sam for not being with me anymore? Is that
Am
what I
I
heard?
proud of it?
Yeah, that's what you told her.
I don't think it. That's Sam's choice. I don't care what she does.
No, I'm saying you gave her a hug and you told her that you were proud of her, that she could do better than me.
I don't know about that.
No? I'm not getting into the Bible here.
How come I have to get into the Constitution, but you can't get into the Bible?
Because I didn't swear an oath to the Bible. You swore an oath to the Constitution.
You're a
public servant.
Do you know the definition of integrity? I want to, because Dan, you know what? I don't understand. What I don't understand is, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I see the
checks and balances. I already told you. That's
I know.
That's what I'm in here
which
for.
is great. Which is great. But why do you make videos of it as such?
Listen, y'all. These kids want to act up in school, want to go to school and embarrass you, want to make like they got no home training. So I told my son, don't go to school embarrass me no more. I take care of you, son. I give you anything you want. I discipline you. But you're gonna embarrass me like this? No, so now I'm gonna cut his hair.
Oh, they're gonna have to ask you.
With all hair.
Hey, do me a favor. Wait for the SWAT guys. Now I saw you were in a restricted area. Now I want your identification. You're not getting it.
Don't embarrass me. I told him, don't embarrass me. No.
Alright, Erie County fam, before we get into this video today, I'm going to give you guys a little background information because this is not your average audit. This is a confrontation I had with one trooper, Brian Hadsell. He is a state trooper from the Alden barracks. I've known him since I was young. He was pulling me over when I was like 16, you know, for stupid stuff back then. But he's also a friend of my ex-girlfriend, recently ex-girlfriend's family, Samantha. And he met her at the racetrack, Lancaster Speedway. And when he met her there, he gave her a hug and told her that he was proud of her and that she could do much better than me. Now, I don't know Trooper Hadsell well enough for him to make a comment like that and it to be legitimate. So at the fair, when I ran into him, I did confront him and ask him about it. And the reason that I'm putting this video out there is because in the beginning of this video, you'll see it was a pretty rocky situation where, you know, he doesn't agree with what I do or how I do it or anything of that nature. But by the end of the video, I feel the conversation was maybe even a productive one where we were able to bridge that gap between me and himself, and maybe some other law enforcement, other people seeing this video, it might have that same effect. So that's why I'm putting it out there. It's a bit long. We did have a conversation for quite a while. I'm not going to cut anything out. I'm going to let the whole thing play out because he definitely accused me of, you know, cutting video and trying to make people look bad by not playing the whole video, which every one of you know I would never do that, and I never do that. And a lot of people say that I should cut the videos down to make them shorter, and I don't do that purposely because I don't want to be accused of that. So let's go ahead and get into this video, and you guys let me know what you think in the comment section, and I hope you guys enjoy this educational video. How you doing?
Good, Dan. How are you?
Pretty good.
Good.
Where are you at?
What's that?
You proud of Sam for not being with me anymore? Is that what I heard?
Am I proud of it?
Yeah, that's what you told her.
I don't think it. That's Sam's choice. I don't care what she does.
No, I'm saying you gave her a hug and you told her that you were proud of her, that she could do better than me.
I don't know about that.
No?
No. But she could.
I'm just seeing if you were going to be man enough to be able to say that to my face.
No, she could.
She could do better than me?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah?
Yeah. Easily.
Easily, huh?
You kidding me?
Easily do better, huh?
Easily. She's a great girl.
Well, at least you were man enough to say it to my face. That's all I wanted.
Oh yeah, no, it's all good.
Do you have a problem with something, me or what I do?
No.
You have a problem with checks and balances in the government?
Checks and balances.
Oh yeah, there's nothing like checks and balances for government.
What I would like, you seem to be experts, so hop in.
Well, what I would like, can I hold on to that carbine?
The what?
Am I allowed to have that carbine? Can I hold that?
Oh, that's owned by the state police. But you can go buy one. That's New York.
What is that?
Is yours New York? It is.
You guys got that on your semi-auto?
I'm exempt, but I have it compliant. What's that?
You're exempt?
Law enforcement.
How is that constitutionally permissible that you would be exempt?
I don't know.
You're not sure?
I don't make the laws. We enforce the laws. Even the ones you don't agree with. It doesn't matter if we agree or don't agree.
Hadsell.
We're here
Do you
to
know the
enforce
5
laws
elements of
that
the First Amendment?
I do.
What are they?
So like,
I want you to explain
so
something
like
to
if
me.
you owned a
Go
mechanic
for it.
shop, okay.
What does petitioning the government actually mean?
Petitioning the government for
It's one of the
redressing
5
your
elements.
grievance?
It's one of the 5 elements. So what exactly is petitioning the government?
Well, it'd be like, say, like if you were on duty and you were to say something inappropriate, I have the right to call your superiors and complain about it.
That's what that means?
Oh yeah, definitely.
So, all right, quid pro quo. Can you name me the 10 Commandments?
Well, the Bible?
Yes.
What does that have to do with anything?
Well, I'm looking at you because you're on the.
What does the 10 Commandments
Did I
have
swear?
to do with
Did I
anything?
swear? Yeah, did I swear an oath to the 10 Commandments? Like you swore an oath to the Constitution?
I follow the Constitution.
All right. My question is, what are the 5 elements? Be the first to shock me.
Oh, to shock
To
you?
shock me because not one
Because I'll
cop
tell
have
you
I
what.
asked could name all 5 of the first
All
elements.
right.
Of the,
Well,
just do it.
Okay,
Name them up.
I already gave
Be
you
a hero.
petitioning the government.
That's one.
That's one. Okay.
Right.
So secondly, what are the 10 Commandments? Give me 3 of them. Can you give me 3 of them?
I'm not getting into the Bible here
How come I have to get into the Constitution, but you can't get into the Bible?
because I didn't swear an oath to the Bible. You swore an oath to the Constitution.
I
You're
did,
you're
and
a public
I follow
servant.
it. And I follow
All right.
it.
So what are the other 4
But you know
elements?
what? Okay, speech.
All right. It's
So
2.
number 2,
2. Just name all 5 off. Be a hero today.
I don't need to be a hero. I know I know the 5 elements of the First Amendment. I do. And I think you can tell already that I do.
I mean,
So
you named
it-
off 2. I mean,
Okay, assembly. So
there's
now,
3.
Okay, so
There's
now
2 more. Just
I
name them
wanna
all.
know, do you know the definition of integrity? Do you know the definition of integrity? I want to, because Dan, you know what? I don't understand. What I don't understand is, what are you doing?
What am I doing?
Yeah, what are you doing? I see the
Checks
whatever,
and
the
balances.
audit-
I already told you. That's why.
I
That's
know.
what I'm
So
in here
which
for.
is
Checks and
great.
balances.
Which is great. But why do you make videos of it and such?
Well, cops
Are
are
you
always in the
doing-
news. Cops are always in the
are
news
you
doing
doing
dumb
it-
stuff.
but are
And I'm
you-
not saying you specifically.
I know. I'm just saying because I see it from all angles, and I try to be open-minded and I try to be fair. So
Okay, well, like I said, we enforce the law.
to me,
in the books.
I get what you're doing.
You don't think I
if
have
you find
integrity?
if you find it, no, I asked you what the definition was. If a cop is doing dirty stuff, then he should be held accountable.
Have you
I agree with
ever
that.
arrested a bad cop?
I have not.
You have not. Never
Not
seen
that I know
one
of.
in your career. In your career, you've never seen one.
I'm not saying I haven't seen one. I'm just saying I've never arrested one.
I know. Well, there you go. Like,
So,
there's
but
the
my
problem.
point, and that's
Where's
great.
the integrity there?
But why?
If you've seen one, but you
why
haven't
do
made the
put it on-
arrest.
Why do you post it for the world to see? That's my question.
I'm exercising my constitutional right.
Well, which is
Freedom
fine.
of
I
the
mean, that's
press.
great. You have a constitutional right. You have a constitutional right to take the videos and make sure that they're doing the right thing and not being jerks. I get that because I'm all about it.
Have you ever seen a video where I made something up?
Not well. I'm not going to say made it up, but you need to get more facts. I watch them and I pull them apart, and not everything is.
Would you ever be
like-
willing to come onto the channel on a forum where we can
I couldn't do that.
debate one
My job
on
wouldn't
your
let me do
personal?
it.
On your,
My
what about-
job wouldn't allow
Are
me
you
to.
retiring anytime soon?
Probably
You're getting
about
up there. When I was a
year
kid and
a
I was
half.
16 years old, I was driving. You were pulling me over out
I
there and
know,
all
at
that.
least once
I've got
I
my
remember.
fair share of tickets from Mr.
Maybe one that I can remember. At any rate, but I would. But again, let me back up. What was I talking about?
Well, not in your official capacity. You couldn't come on
Yeah,
the channel and
they
debate
wouldn't
like.
allow me to do it.
No.
He's our public information officer. He'd probably be. He might be able to do it. I wouldn't be allowed. So my thing is, again, so I get it. Hold dudes accountable, but then you put it on video for the world to see. That seems to me like you're trying to embarrass somebody.
Well, you see, I don't mind embarrassing someone over filing a lawsuit, because when a lawsuit gets filed for a police officer doing something incorrect, who pays? The taxpayers.
Sure.
So using humility
And I'm
on
a
the internet,
taxpayer, so I'm all about it.
that's questionable.
I pay taxes.
Oh yeah, I'm not saying you don't pay the taxes, but you know what I mean. Like, let's put it this way, right?
Listen.
If I work for this man right here and he pays me $100 and the government taxes $20, right?
Okay.
And you work for the government and they try to pay you $100 and they tax you $20. Did they just pay you 80 or did they pay you 100? You know what I mean? Like, there's that. I'm not going to go into that debate. I really don't want to debate that, but there is the debate. Like, there is a debate on that, whether like if he was a private position, he pays me $100, and then he taxes me $20 for working for him, right? And he only pays me $80. Did he ever really pay me $100? But I don't want to go into that because there are, like, you get paid by the troopers, right? You get paid by the troopers, the state. But then there's federal taxes, so it's technically not the same entity, but the government taxing themselves isn't really, but it's questionable. But I'll give it to you, they definitely do tax your paycheck.
For sure. But I get taxed on everything I do, just like you do. Like whether I buy
when you go to the stores,
property,
for sure.
Property tax, whatever, state tax, federal tax in my paycheck, all that.
So tell me, what is the biggest gripe about Auditing Erie County? You think that I shouldn't post these in front of the, like, how would I catch accountability? Where would the accountability come from?
From you.
How?
How would you call them out? What would your next move be?
All right, here's a perfect example.
If somebody's doing shady shit.
Here's a perfect example. Richard L. Burt, right?
Yeah, okay.
You know about Richard L. Burt, you know about the cardboard cutout.
Yeah, which was great, by the way.
I know you can have it.
I want that cutout.
You can buy it on auditingeriecounty.com. You can buy any cutout of any copy. No.
I did love it.
All right. The guy's a real piece of work, nonetheless. But I won't ask your opinion on that. I probably know your opinion on that, but I heard you wanted the cardboard cutout.
Did you hear that?
Somebody asked if you can get it for his retirement party. That's how I knew about it. All right, here's a good example. Right? Richard L. Burt arrested me for and it hasn't hit the channel yet because I'm still waiting for his record, which ties into the story, right? Now, I drove my girlfriend's car, which had a 19-day insurance lapse, right?
Okay.
Richard L. Burt pulls me over, puts me in handcuffs, and arrests me for a 19-day violation of law, right? It's a violation of law, right? Okay. Now, I file a Freedom of Information Law request with Lancaster Police Department for Richard L. Burt's history, his complaint records, all that, right?
Okay.
Now they are, as of today, they're probably around 70 days overdue by law. They're supposed to have this out by law for 70 days overdue, right? They haven't got it to me, right? So now they're in violation of 70 days in the law, right?
Okay.
Who's going to throw them in handcuffs, throw them in a cage, and
I
lock
don't know.
them
What's
up?
the next move? Is it the Attorney General?
Nah, the only thing I could do is wait out a certain amount of time, appeal it, then I got to sue them in the court. But I'm saying, like, on the spot, Richard L. Burt got to throw me in handcuffs, arrest me, and charge me. But who's going to do that for the police station? How am I supposed to get accountability other than sue them? And then I go to court, and all they're going to be like, give some lame excuse. And if the judge is righteous, I'll get the records. If not, kick rocks. But those are public records owning to the public, right? Now how hard is it to get them?
What does that have to do with you putting that on the internet?
So,
is by putting it on the internet, are you getting info from other people saying, hey, you can do this? Or are you doing
that brings us back to redress. If the government does something that the people don't like, they have a constitutional right to call their government and petition them for redress, right? Now, if Richard L. Burt says, town's too cheap for body cameras, right? Which he admitted to me he was just being a smartass. He knew that they had a grant. And he also told me that the only reason they don't have body cameras is because they don't want to spend the money on them so they get better pay raises at the end of the year. Okay. And that's what he admitted.
Maybe. Yeah, I don't know.
But, like, it's my word against his now in the back of a police car.
Absolutely.
Now, if he had a body camera, we can go back and say, hey, Mr. Warmus is lying here. But now that they don't, where's the accountability? So my point in the channel is police accountability. And I don't hate police by all means, because my opinion is everybody wants to love the police. Everybody wants to respect the police. But what the heck are you guys doing to that image? And when I say you guys, I don't mean you specifically because I don't know your history.
Unfortunately.
But you guys run this blue line.
A lot of dudes with the same brush.
But you know what they do? But you know what they do? They put this blue line flag up, right? They desecrate the American flag, and they put this blue line flag up, right? And they do this blue line brotherhood that ties you all together.
Okay.
That ties you all together.
Which is fine. It's just like the Buffalo Bills have their flag. It ties them all together. They're all Buffalo Bills.
Oh yeah,
what I'm saying?
They're on a team. That's a team. But now when you guys fly that flag, it makes you guys a team.
Doesn't make us a gang. It makes us a team. But it doesn't mean I
the
agree.
Blue Line is the biggest gang in the entire world, man.
Well, that's
biggest
good.
gang.
It's good.
Most muscle.
It's good in a way because I know they have my back. But make no mistake, I don't love every cop. There's a lot of cops.
Yeah, but you also admitted that you have seen bad cops do bad cops, and you never made an arrest on them.
I didn't make the arrest. Oh, I'm not saying I saw something going on in front of me. I've seen other bad cops where they got arrested by somebody else. Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of scumbags out there, Dan. There's a lot of scumbags out there, cop or not.
And I agree. There's bad people in every line of job,
Exactly.
whether it's police, whether it's a mechanic, Could be a First
And
Amendment
I'll, and I'll
auditor. It
speak
could
for
be
myself
anybody.
as an Alden kid growing up.
Could be the Uber Eats guy eating your French fries.
Right.
As an Alden kid growing up, I know I never treated you disrespectfully. I guarantee I was always decent or fair. Never
See, there was
heavy-handed.
Hadsell, and the other one was Arquette. Arquette, I think, gave me a.
Well,
I think he gave me a harder time.
I can't.
I think he
can't
gave me
speak
a
for
harder
him,
time.
And he is retired now. But
But you and Arquette were the troopers in Alden. But I think
and
Arquette
Mahoney,
gave me
too,
a harder
never ran into
time.
Mahoney. Never ran into Sean Mahoney. He's been there as long as me.
I don't think I've ever, like the name Mahoney, I'm sure I ran into him, but he's never given me a problem. I don't know if he's ever written me.
I got a good laugh at the Grand Island rest area video you put. I'm just going to be honest with you.
The rest area?
Yeah, it was pretty. Not the rest
You
area,
gotta
but it's
see
the new building.
You got to see the cardboard.
You're talking about
cutout.
Arquette or Archangel?
Yeah.
Trooper Archangel?
Yeah.
That's a badass name.
It is. He's a local
It is.
kid. Well, he's a local kid.
He was cool.
You should see the cardboard cutout of Rick Albert, Lancaster cop. That is fabulous. Absolutely fabulous.
You know Albert?
Probably not.
He's not worth knowing. He's retiring soon, though, I hear. We should take that cardboard cutout to his retirement and do a roast session.
I know.
Like they
Absolutely.
do a roast.
Like a
Keep everything
person,
civil over here?
like a
Absolutely.
person, like a person
Keep it-
cardboard
yes.
cutout.
Full life
Like a
size.
full person?
I video recorded the Lancaster police pulling his kid over on an electric scooter. I think I asked you about it.
Yes.
And you were in that video. You made that video. But
Yes.
I asked him, and maybe they had the right to impound it. Maybe it's a real gray area because you
Because
can't
af-
register an electric moped in New York. You
After
can't.
watching your video, because I didn't know nothing about that at the time. After watching the video, I think it's a moped. I think it's an electric moped.
But
no
you
different
can't
than an
register
electric
it.
car.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Maybe they had the right to
But it's
impound it. Maybe it was
definitely not a
righteous.
bike.
Maybe they had the
Because it
right.
doesn't
They
have
had the
pedals
right
or
to
anything.
impound it. But what was wrong with saying, "Hey, man, you can't do this. Get home and don't bring it back"? Wouldn't that be better? Wouldn't that have been a
Couldn't
better?
we want to do that every time?
What's that?
You do that every time? Other dudes would be doing that all the time. You know what
If
I
you
mean?
gave a guy one chance to get it home, and
Yeah, but well, how do we know that that's?
I mean, unless
how do we know
your
that that's his
goal,
first-
unless you're admitting your goal out there is to collect revenue for the towns,
No, that's
as-
not. That's not a
as-
goal. I could care less about collecting revenue for the town.
you don't get pushed for quotas and stuff.
No,
Hey, buddy, you can.
no, we really don't. That's a myth. Don't get me wrong. My boss is.
I know it's
my
not a
boss
myth
is-
because I dated a cop once, and she told me her boss is asking her, well, why aren't you writing more tickets? And she'd be like, well, how many tickets am I
Exactly.
supposed to write? And they
Never
can't tell
tell
her
you.
because it's illegal.
Exactly. No, you're right, and that's the truth. But it's a myth as far as quota. Do my bosses like me to write tickets and show that I'm being proactive? Yes. But
in
there's
that
no
instance-
number
alright,
set on me. You know what I'm saying?
how
A
I
quota
got to that
me-
point was I fully requested the dash cams and body cams of that incident. I want to see how the pullover happened.
Okay.
Pullover request comes back. We don't have dash cams or body cameras. Now I'm so used to cops lying to me and government playing games all the time. I went down to an accident scene with 5 police cars, Lancaster police cars on it, just to take a look. Do they have dash cams or are they lying to me? So I go down there, I took my things, I'm walking away, and that's when Richard comes up and he says, "Hey, is that a Sony? Is that a Canon?
I
What
saw
is
that
that?"
one.
And he's
Yeah.
just being a smartass.
Yes.
And I asked him, I said, "Hey, why don't you have body cameras?" And the guy says, "The town's too cheap to buy them for us." So I made a life-size cardboard cutout of them, took them down to the town board meeting, put them in front of the town board, and I said, "Richard Albert says you guys are too cheap for officer safety."
And that's the cardboard cutout too. It's got and it's fabulous. You actually have to see. But let me back up to
$150. You can get any cardboard cutout you want.
50
Is that what
bucks.
you paid for?
150.
Oh, 150. I'm like
Tax
50.
write-off. This is a business.
So
It's a company.
Let me
Auditing
back
Erie
up to
County is a
that.
company.
Let me back up to that electric moped or whatever it was. How do we know that that's not the first time he got stopped?
I mean, I imagine
Do
the
you know what I
Lancaster
mean?
police would know.
Maybe. But
I mean, I
well,
talked to the kid. I
it
gave him a ride
depends.
home at the end of the day.
Which is
I
good.
helped him pick up the bike.
Well, let's say,
and I
how
helped
do we
him
know
get
that
it.
he's never been stopped in Buffalo? Because again, Dan, like
He,
the cops
he
I
has
use-
been stopped in Buffalo, and the Buffalo's cops told him, make sure you're wearing a helmet, and that's all we ask for.
One of his videos, and he asked me.
You got to
a question
subscribe to
about-
Auditing Erie County, you know what I'm saying?
I'm all over the
he,
place.
He asked me about this e-bike, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything about the stop, blah blah blah. So then I started hearing, "Hey, you're on one of Warm's videos." I'm like, "Okay, great." So I watched it, and I got a chuckle out of it. It
Did
was
you
fun.
know who I was when I was asking questions?
I remember you from when you were
No,
a
I'm
kid.
saying, did you know that I was Auditing Erie County at that point?
No, I didn't. I didn't
No?
know you had a YouTube channel or anything like that. So, but
You're living under a rock, man.
man, I'm not a big techie. But at any rate, what's that?
Nothing.
Yeah. So, at any rate, long story less long. Yeah, so he just asked me about the e-bike and whatever, and I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know anything
You
about
said you
that
wouldn't
stop.
hassle it. You know, and as a matter of fact,
that's not-
there was an
that's
electric
not-
scooter moped bike that went by us at that very moment.
It's definitely. Oh yeah, that's right.
There
Yeah,
was some
yeah.
girl in a little,
But I would
little bit smaller.
I can't be bothered. It's little stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's not me.
But you can see discretion being like, yo, just get it home. Kid's coming
Yes.
home from work after working an 8-hour shift. Kid's doing the right thing. He's out working. He's not out
Again, I
robbing
wasn't
stuff,
there.
you know.
I wasn't there, so I don't know if he was being a jerk earlier. I don't know how many times he's ever gotten stopped before. There's a lot more to go into it, because just like you said, cops lie to you, people lie to me all the time.
Oh, I bet.
And
Right? Am I wrong?
that's
Is
about it, man.
possession of an illegal in first state?
So nobody's good enough for my Sam. I love the Giuliano family.
So, I've learned that a lot of those people over in that household pretended to like me, and it was pretty
Contentious? What's the word?
two-faced.
Oh, okay.
I mean, like in a way,
Yeah, I
like
don't
they
know.
pretended to like me and they all hated me.
'Cause I had-
It's like when we broke up. Number one, between me and you, I broke up with her because it just didn't feel right.
Okay.
I hate going over to the Giuliano house because I know you're friends with Mr.
Yeah,
Giuliano,
Johnny,
but
he's a good man.
he's kind of an asshole.
Can be.
And I tried to be nice to him. I tried to get along. It just doesn't come around. And you know, maybe it is. There's an aspect where like I do a story on Lancaster Police. Somehow he
Yeah.
gets grief
And they do.
through the
they
back
bust-
ring.
They bust his balls. And then even the guys.
And he has
in the
nothing to
highway-
do with that.
I know, but even the guys in the highway department bust his balls. You know, and that's why. So you know, I get it. You do what you do, but you know, when it started leaking over into his world, that's when he was getting pissed. Like, hey, fuck you. You're making my life hard, so I'm gonna make your life hard.
I mean, never made my life hard, but he never.
I know. I'm just saying.
After
It's
2
making
years,
his
I
hard.
didn't feel like he was my father.
We dated for 2 years. I had
We've
no
been 2
idea.
years on this 24th.
I had no idea.
2 years.
And matter of fact, until the Albert video.
I mean,
came out,
she's not happy. I mean, like when you said what you said to her at the racetrack, you didn't make her feel good. I'll tell you that. And then she's not like
I
me.
don't remember those being my words, though, to be honest with you. So
Well, you just said it here.
I said nobody's good enough for my Sam. She's a great girl. I love the whole family. So, but I don't remember saying that. I don't know if those were my words or not. But
Well, that's
I'm
what she
sorry
heard.
if
That's what she
I made her
heard.
upset. But you know,
That's what she heard.
I'll apologize to her.
And you know, and that's just my point. She didn't leave me. I left her because it wasn't right. And I just think it's better off this way.
Yeah.
And is she a great girl? She is.
Yeah.
Do I think she deserves better than what I can give her if I'm not feeling it? Yes. I don't want to be selfish. And I'm not going to hang it out, and I don't want to hang it out. But like hearing stuff like, you know, people like you saying that to her and her getting upset about it, just me, and then her grandma being like, you know, he's a piece of crap,
Yeah,
and
Grandma's
she
pretty-
pretended to like me.
Grandma's pretty relentless.
Grandma backs the blue all the way to
Yeah,
the.
big time.
But you know, like I have no problem with policing. I really don't. And like I said, I want to be able to love. I want to be able to do all that. But like, think of it this way: 50 years ago, the most hated man in America would have been a cop killer. Nowadays, what happens when you see a cop died in the news, got shot? People are like,
They don't even make the news.
people are like, wonder what he did to deserve that.
Yeah.
And you
It
got to
doesn't-
ask
it
yourself,
doesn't even
what
make
did the
the
police
news.
do to that image? You see too many videos out there of police using too much excessive force. You see, you know, bad things all the time. So there is a need for what I do. And if there wasn't, I wouldn't be making
But
making
my
a paycheck
question
on
to
it,
you is
and I wouldn't be.
exactly.
I wouldn't have
you're making
75
a paycheck on it.
Well, so does
it's not
CNN.
about-
CNN
it's
and
not
then
about-
MSNBC makes money too
That's fine.
to
but-
report the news.
Yes.
And it takes a lot of time. Like editing that video in Lancaster.
You're attacking-
Believe
you're-
me,
you're
I
attacking-
got more time in that video than it's really worth. But I don't do it for the money. I can
See,
make
now,
that
makes me wonder.
I can make a living off it.
That
but-
makes me wonder.
But you know, like taking all that time, you got to make a living off it. I could easily travel this country, be in a different city every day of my life, audit different government buildings and police stations, probably make 15 to 20,000 a month.
But what? I mean, I don't understand. Like, what do you get out of freaking embarrassing someone?
What do I get out of it?
Yeah.
When they stop doing stupid stuff
No,
and
like
change
just because they don't know the 5 elements of the First Amendment. What does
Why
calling
is-
them out and making them look like a stooge just because
Why-
they don't study it?
why
'Cause
do
I
they-
could look it up real quick.
Well, here's the question. Why would they feel like a stooge if they didn't know the answer to that question? Because they're supposed to. Because
Why
they
are you
swore an oath
supposed
to.
to? I'm not
You
supposed to.
swore an oath to uphold my constitutional rights.
Absolutely.
You
And
put your hand on a Bible,
I also,
and you put your hand up,
I
you swear
also
it oath.
know
If you
that
don't
I
know
uphold
it,
that I'm going to uphold the New York State Penal Code, but I can tell you right now, I don't know a freaking 1/100th of the New York State Penal Law.
but there's a difference between the penal codes and the laws
I know.
versus the unalienable rights that we're supposed to have. Because there's some penal codes on the record that violate that Constitution you swore an oath to.
What, like what?
We could start with the SAFE Act.
Yeah, I hate the SAFE
We
Act.
could,
I don't
we
want
could,
to talk about the SAFE Act.
and
That's
I know, like,
not me.
and that's,
Good. We said
yeah, you talk to him, but I'm saying, like, there's the new registry for ammo,
Yeah, I don't like that one either.
stupid
Yeah,
stuff
so I
like
guess
that.
you're right there.
I'm
I'll
sure-
give you that.
I'm
Just
saying-
make those decisions.
these are the
We
type
did.
of things that make you want to retire early because you think it's wrong, I'm sure, and you can't really have an opinion because, but you just swear
And you
that
know
oath.
what? I love guns.
To domestic-
It's part of what I do
to
for
domestic-
a living, and I'm a hunter. I love guns. You know, so that I don't.
Yeah,
I
but
don't-
you could probably own a 30-round mag for your AR-15 when you're at home target practicing, and I can't.
And I'll be honest, I don't want one.
I think the 20-round mag is the perfect magazine because bullets come in a 20-round box. I want to go target shooting. I want to load one box
That's the
into
most
a
elegant
thing.
answer I've ever heard.
What's wrong with that? Number one. Number two, if a person's breaking into my home, is he going to follow the SAFE Act? No, he's going to come in with a 30-round mag,
There's a
50-round
reason.
magazine.
There's a reason why somebody
So
doesn't
why
break into
shouldn't
your
a
home, because
citizen?
there might be a guy on the other side of that door with a freaking 20
Right.
round mag. So, no, I agree with you on that.
I mean, I've been charged with 3 violent felonies just for having 3 magazines to hold. They got dismissed, but that's still, you know, I mean, like that's a violation of an oath that you took, but like that puts you guys in a hard spot just as much as anything.
But that still doesn't, I mean, I get that, what's that, the right to bear arms, but we're talking about the First Amendment. And, you know, I just, like I said,
When I started
I don't have-
auditing Erie County, do you know how many buildings I got thrown out for video recording in?
Oh, I'm
Man,
sure.
there's not a building in Erie County that somebody could walk into right now, take a camera out,
Absolutely.
and they'll leave them alone.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me the channel didn't accomplish that goal of the First
Sure.
Amendment. All
But
right?
my point is,
Another thing is I talked
love
to-
that you're bringing it to the attention, and I like that you're calling people out. What bothers me is you're doing it to make money, and that's it. And I
It's
wonder
not,
if
it's
you're
not just to make money.
okay, but that makes me wonder anyway.
It's not just to make money.
It
You know
makes
what?
me
You want to know, honest to God, why Dan Warmus does it? Because what kind of world do I want to leave behind for those kids? Sam's kids, your kids,
I agree.
your kids' kids.
I like that.
That's why I do it. All right?
But I wanna-
do I make money
I hope
doing
you
it?
do
Yes,
it.
but how
Is
many
it a
miles?
bonus?
How many miles do I have to travel? How
Is
how
the
much
money-
did this camera cost?
Is the
You know what I
money
mean?
just
Like,
a bonus, Dan, or is it because of your beliefs? Is that what it is?
well, there's 2 reasons that money is important. One,
You
to
have
buy the
have it.
equipment, right?
Yes, absolutely.
2, if I don't monetize my videos on YouTube and make sure they're monetizable, right? YouTube is a company that makes money, right? They're out to make money, right?
Yeah, tons.
Now, if my video isn't monetized, are they going to put my video in front of everybody, or are they going to put somebody else who is monetized and they can also make money?
Okay,
So there's an aspect there
now
too.
my
Like
question
people
to
say,
you is this.
"Oh, it's just for clicks and views," because I'll try to post a video where a police officer handcuffs me. Now that video becomes unmonetizable. It's too violent for YouTube advertising, right? Now people will say, "Oh, well, why not just air it anyways?" Because you can. Well, the problem is, if I want a video where a cop unlawfully arrests me, puts me in handcuffs, and maybe even slams my head on the concrete, right? If I want 100,000 people to see that so that change happens, but it's not monetized, only 20,000 people might see it. Now, if it's monetized, 200 million people might see it. Do you see why it's important on that specific platform to be monetized? Cameras cost money, the gas to get there costs money,
So
lawyers cost money for unlawful arrest.
So answer
it all,
me this,
it all costs.
This is what confuses me. This confuses me.
And I'm glad to have
with
this
your-
conversation
with your-
because maybe
yeah,
when we're done
sure.
here, you'll have a better understanding of what I do and why I do it. And maybe you'll have a different opinion about me and First Amendment auditing when we're done.
just
And that's
so-
the great part
and I
about a
hope that-
conversation.
yes, and I hope that you understand that because I don't like being painted with the same brush. I'm not like the other guys.
Do you
I
have any
find
blue
myself-
line flag equipment, flags on your home?
I don't
Do
think
you
so.
run it on the car? You
No.
see the guys with them patches on their uniforms?
I don't. It's not that
And
I
I
don't agree
respect
with it.
that,
I
and
just
I love
don't.
that. I love that.
I don't disagree with it. To each his own. But I don't fight it.
But you're just like for the channel might show that you're part of that family Because you dislike me without even having a conversation.
I never said I dislike you.
Yeah, it's questionable about
no.
the thing you would have said to Sam, or the
No.
way, the look on your face when you said to me just now, she can do better. She can do better.
You called me out.
I called you out on what you
called
said.
me out and I answered it.
And I'm glad you were man enough to admit
Absolutely.
you probably said that. But I'm saying, what's your opinion on that base? You seen a couple of videos?
So, no.
You never had a conversation with me. Have I ever made you look bad?
Me, no. Others.
Have I ever made somebody look
Others.
bad?
Others.
How do I
yeah.
make somebody look bad?
I'll bring the videos up and show you.
Yeah, but
You know,
how
if
do
you really know
I
where they
make
are.
them look bad?
Huh?
How did I make them look bad? Did they make themselves look bad? Did you question that?
They could, but why
The
do you?
camera doesn't lie. Like if I put a video out and you see it and you go, oh, I think he made
but
you look bad,
but
right?
But you put
That's
it
the
out
court
for the
I
world
work
to
in.
see to make money.
That's the court I work in. I work in the court of public opinion. You have an opinion
But
on my
you put
videos,
it
and
out
you
to
think
the-
I make it look bad.
Which is
And
good
other people can
if
have
you're
that
really
opinion.
calling somebody out. But you put it on the internet for all the world to see and
I
make
put
money
it in
on
my court, the court of
And
public
YouTube.
opinion.
Well, you call it what you want, but I call it making money by embarrassing somebody.
What do you call the local news?
I'm just talking. Well, that's a different animal now.
No, it's not.
Yeah, yes, it is.
We work under the same.
because
We're
here's
both
the
press.
thing.
We're both journalists.
You're like if I was an actor, I would get paid to be on these videos. So
Commercial.
You're allowed to go into places and video everything and anybody you want. Are you allowed to put it on YouTube? My likeness? Athletes get paid for that.
Now-
They can't put an athlete's face on a video game, but yet you can make money off of me.
So you're a public servant.
I'm curious. That doesn't mean you can make money off of me.
I don't make
How does
money
that
off
work?
you.
Yes, you do by
No.
putting me and other.
I don't make money off the video.
You don't make money. You make money off the advertisements.
There
off
you
the video,
go. There you go.
Which, if there was no video,
If there was
you
no
wouldn't make
ads,
any
I
money.
wouldn't make any money.
Exactly.
All right, but the video
so
can
my
still be
point
there.
is,
In just
like,
the same
how
way,
do you
CNN,
make money off of
MSNBC,
me?
Channel 4 News,
I think it's different. I think it's different.
it's not.
I got to look
As a matter
into
of
that
fact,
more.
as a matter of fact, Judge Villardo, the federal judge, ruled that I'm a journalist.
Which is fine. That's good.
They tried to ban me
But-
from going into public places and video any public servant. That would have violated my
So
First
what's
Amendment
a-
right,
so
freedom of the
what
press.
is a journalist? Just a videographer?
A journalist is anybody who disseminates information to the public.
By any means?
Any means.
Okay.
There's
So then
there's
I need
Supreme
to
Court
look
ruling
into
on that.
I need to look into
Supreme
that.
Court, Facebook.
Because
Facebook is media.
I feel like Facebook is media, like commercials and stuff like that, and advertisements. But for me to be on your Facebook page, don't we have to be friends or something like that? Like you have to, I have to okay you and
Listen,
me being okay.
if I found you at the supermarket and video recorded you and posted a
Yes.
video online, you could file a strike against me that I would have to blur your face out.
Yeah, how come you
But-
don't have to do that?
When you are working in your official capacity as constitutionally protected activity to video record your public servants in the course of their duty, that is constitutionally protected under the freedom of the press.
I gotta
Now,
look that-
when
I gotta-
you
I'm gonna
when
look
you
that
are
up.
in your official
Because I-
capacity, you have no right to expectation of privacy.
Okay, but that doesn't. But,
But
I
not-
don't know
not
if
if
that
I-
gives you the okay to disseminate it to the world and make money off it. That's my opinion.
I'll tell you what.
I have to look into
If I posted the video of you right now, me talking,
Yes.
and you put a privacy complaint in, I would sue the New York State troopers and I'd win.
I'm not worried about
No,
that.
I'm just saying, like,
I would
that's-
I get
that's
an
the
attorney
point
to
that-
go that route.
That's the point that I'm making. But now, I video record you at Tops getting your groceries with your family, you pull a privacy complaint, YouTube will make me take that video down, or they'll take it down for me. And they'll
Because I watch
dock me
something
for
like,
that,
say, I
right?
watch Ridiculousness.
And that-
people are out a lot of faces on there.
Well, you know, there's the prank channels where people are pulling buckets over people's heads in stores. They don't have, they can lose their channel for doing that stuff. But government officials, you have to understand, when they take that oath of office or when they become a public servant, they have no right to expectation of privacy. That's like your name is public record, right?
Yes, I understand that.
Now in the supermarket, you're not public record anymore.
Aren't I? I bet you'd argue that.
I wouldn't
bet
argue
you'd
it.
argue that. Like, if I'm a cop, I'm always a cop, no? I don't
Listen,
know.
if you
I was making
had a
arrest-
body
if I was
camera like
making an
this,
arrest
right?
off
You got this
duty-
body camera rolling, right? You got this body camera rolling, right?
Yeah.
I can FOIL request that.
Sure.
Right?
Yes.
Now you're at Tops and you're wearing a body camera in your own personal time. I got no rights to video FOIL request that.
But
You're off duty.
what if I make an off-duty arrest while I'm in Tops? Am I now a police officer?
I would have to say so. You just went into
But if
your
I'm not
official
making an arrest,
capacity.
I don't?
I don't think you do.
I don't know. It's a good question.
I mean, it comes down to when you're working under your official capacity. If you turn around and you're off duty, and you turn around and arrest somebody because you see something illegal going down, as soon as you pull out your badge to make that arrest, you just went on the clock. Whether you're getting paid or not, you just became on your official duties. You'd have to agree with that, right?
Possibly.
Now, if you pull out your personal phone and take a picture of me while you're working, I can fully request your phone.
Sure.
Now, if you're at Tops and you're not working, you take my picture, I can't get that photo.
Gotcha.
If you're on lunch break, if you're on lunch break and you're in the cop car eating lunch and you're clocked out and you take my picture, courts are not going to give me that photo. So when you're working on your official capacity, there's no right expectation, and it would be, say somebody, a government official.
So I'd have to take all my pictures of you off duty.
If you don't want to, if you don't want me to be able to get a hold of them.
Exactly.
But if somebody took my picture, I would never fuss about it, especially if I'm in public. I got no expectation of privacy in public.
No.
Because you know what? I fight for that right for people to be able to take a photo.
We'll agree to disagree on some stuff, Dan, but I think you do good stuff. And then I think some stuff is kind of, I don't know, just the embarrassing stuff, I think, to like old ladies and crap like that, kind of.
What old ladies?
The little ladies in the freaking town halls and stuff like that. It's a little funny, but nonetheless.
You're talking about the lady I asked if she ever seen the movie Up?
I remember that. I didn't know
You
if I
didn't
saw
see that one? The Wyoming County Sheriff's
Oh,
video.
yes, I did. Yes,
that
I
little
did.
old
You're right.
lady, she put her hands on me and pushed me and stuff.
Oh, maybe I didn't see that.
And when I asked her, I said, "You don't have a lawful authority to put your hands on me." And she's like, "Good, arrest me." I'm like, well, I'm not going to be able to arrest you, but I'll tell you what, in the deposition, you're going to have to answer on camera why you did that and why you said that. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I didn't
deposition
see that.
ain't no joke, because that's going to go on the internet too. But, I admit there's times but I try to do it as professional, because you know what? I can all day long get the cop haters to be on my side.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, easily.
Now, when I get someone who loves the police and thinks I'm an asshole,
Yeah.
but I can video and be in an interaction, and I can get them to be like, wow, that cop was kind of a dick that day. Now I'm winning. Now I'm changing stuff. And that is what I aim
I won't
for.
argue
That's
with
what I
you on
aim
that.
for.
I'm not saying every cop.
I mean, there's some people out there that go out and they just F the police, giving them the finger just to see if they, I'd never do that.
Oh,
Never do that.
I have it happen to me all the time. Somebody I probably never met before in my life.
Would you ever pull someone over for giving you the middle finger driving by?
No, not unless both hands. If you gave me double fingers, then
Both
yes.
hands off the wheel?
Yeah, 1226 of the VTL.
But you know how many times I've
One
seen
hand,
videos.
he's fine.
How many
Two
times?
hands? No, he's getting a ticket for no
How many
hands on the
times?
wheel.
How many times have I seen videos out there where a cop pulls somebody over and retaliates because he gave the middle finger driving by? That's freedom of speech.
You know what?
An oath they
that
up
cop
for.
needs to toughen up.
Right.
That cop needs to toughen
And
up.
I agree that a lot of cops need tougher skin.
Oh,
Because
yeah.
they have that, the
Oh,
middle
yeah.
finger is redressing your grievance to your government.
Yeah,
That's redress.
So be it. But like I said, I'm not the retaliatory type. Everything comes back around. If somebody wants to be a jerk, you'll run into each other someday when you screwed up. Not you per se. I'm saying in general. One of these days they're gonna drive by on their cell phone and be like, "Today's your unlucky day." You were a jerk to me. Well, guess what? Now no break. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let me interrupt you quick.
Go ahead.
Dan,
How you doing?
big fan of the channel. I watch all your stuff. And
Got some Erie County fam
J-Town.
down here.
There you go.
J-Town and Long Island.
You came to
Water.
shake my hand, not yours. I just want to point you
Yeah.
out. No, I'm just kidding.
It's all good. Sorry,
But he
He's
is
getting
but
fist
he
bump
is
you
in
anyway.
the state police exhibit though, checking it out. So.
No, he's seen us live. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
No,
We're
I
not
was
live.
my daughter just put a bear in your car. So,
Oh, yeah?
So it's cool. You guys are cool.
Appreciate it.
But yeah,
No, like I'm gonna make a video here. You probably seen me talking about joining the state troopers, and I'm making a sarcastic video, right? And the only reason I'm doing it is because you guys are about to enforce a lot of unconstitutional Second Amendment rights stuff. You know what I mean? And if I put that
Enforce
in, yeah, I mean,
I gotta turn this camera off, man, and all the cameras off before I talk about any safe
I get
stuff.
it. I get it. And and there's another option. If you were in a situation where your superior says, file this guy for a SAFE Act violation, you have the authority to say no, but it could cost you your job.
It won't cost me my job, but will I lose probably a couple vacation days? Yes.
And are you willing to do that? That's the question.
Never
Let's
know
just
until
like
it
say,
happens.
let me say it like this. the founding fathers that founded this country, right?
Yeah.
They had plantations, they had farms, they had wives, families. They had it made. All they had to do is pay, I think, what, 2% tax. I think at that time is what the government was asking for. They said, hell no, we're becoming a free nation. They signed that Declaration of Independence, and they lost their lives, they lost their families, they lost their farms, they lost their property, everything, right? They sacrificed everything to make this country what it is.
Yes.
I'm doing the same thing right now.
They were amazing. Their vision that to see this far into the future to make the Bill of Rights what it is. Like, those are some amazing,
you know why they made that?
Smart men.
They made that because
they didn't see
knew.
this coming. They didn't see these
well,
coming.
They did.
I can guarantee you
they
that.
did.
Oh man,
because they didn't say the right to a newspaper; they said the right to press.
Sure.
Just like what they said,
Yeah,
they didn't see an AR-15 coming,
their definition
but they
of
said the
press
right to
back in-
bear
in
arms
1776.
covers everything. They knew technology was going to change.
The definition of press back in 1776, I'm sure, is a lot different than 2023.
Exactly, and that's why they used the word press, and they didn't use the word newspaper.
Yeah.
Or they didn't use the word
I think they had the
pen and
understanding that
quill.
technology would advance.
And that's why
Without
the
a
Second
doubt.
Amendment's
May
written
not
the way it
know
is.
what
Without a
form it
doubt,
would
they
take,
were
but they knew it would
amazing.
To say they
Amazing
didn't see
people.
these cameras coming, they kind of did. I'm sure they didn't know what was coming. Like, who knows? 10 years from now, a handgun might be a joke because they'll have direct energy laser beam shooters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that's still going to be covered under the Constitution, Second Amendment, right to bear arms. And that's why I'm saying the founding fathers did see it into the future. But my point is, those founding fathers were willing to sacrifice everything. No, I'm on federal probation, and they keep trying to shorten my leash and stop me from doing what I'm doing because they say I interrupt the government by people seeing a video and them redressing their grievances, exercising a constitutional right. They're trying to tighten my leash and make it so I can't do that. And my probation officer even wrote to the judge, there's better ways for Mr. Warmers to accomplish his goal than what he's doing. And when I ask him, what are those better ways? I don't know. Well, why'd you write it on the paper to the judge? My point is, I could be thrown in prison for, a misdemeanor by creating a infraction nowadays, by being disorderly or being harassment. And now a normal press might say, I'm at a town hall, right? I got the mayor in front of me. I'm asking a tough question. He walks away, and now I follow him and keep asking him questions. Now I'm guilty of harassment in New York Penal Code, and I can go to jail for that. Now, normal journalists would be covered under his First Amendment rights. Now, the government's using that against me to try to wean what I do so that I get down to what they want. Right? I'm down here trying to bridge the gap with you and me. And I don't care that you don't like me or what you said to Sam, but I'm going to tell you right now. I'm just saying. What you
I don't like him.
Let me put this way. What you said that day hurt her more than it hurt me. All right. And maybe you do or how you say something. And I appreciate having this conversation that we got to communicate as long as we can because ultimately my goal is to bridge that gap. I want to see you out on the road and be like, there's Dan. When you see me out there and I come with your traffic stop and you wave, respect my rights, make yourself look good. That's all I ask. I mean,
what I'm saying is if I start getting beat up, you better help me out.
I don't know. I don't want to interfere.
Oh,
no.
You're
no.
bridging a gap.
I'll tell you what. If I was there and a cop was getting pounded by somebody and I could do something, I would. I would be forced to, as a human being, having integrity, as a human being, that I wouldn't allow that to continue to happen. Just like I wouldn't allow somebody to beat up a woman or, somebody's getting jumped, I would do my best to try to stop it. But now if a cop was beating somebody up unlawfully, and I tried to step in and say, hey, don't do that, and I get arrested.
How would you know if it's unlawful or not?
Because you guys aren't judges.
Wait,
Cops aren't judges. They don't have the authority. They don't have the right to pound somebody's face in the concrete. They don't have the right to do this when they got him down. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that you did it.
Why did I start pounding him in the face? I mean, this is where we're going. Why did I start pounding him in the face?
I don't know. Have you ever punched somebody in the face while on duty?
Absolutely. Because they punched me in the face.
Yeah, but you don't have the authority to do that. You don't have the right.
Neither does he.
Right, but you get paid to be a professional to not do that. You get to charge them with a felony.
I can use as much force to overtake that person as he's using against me. If he pushes me, then no, I can't pound him out. But if he wants to go toe to toe, we got to go toe to toe. And then at the end of the day, I can use just enough.
I agree. If you're in a fist fight and it's either you or him, I agree. But how many times have we seen a cop with knees. One cop's on the back, one's got his legs twisted up, and the other two are on his shoulders, and one cop's punching him in the face. That's wrong.
Well,
that's wrong.
well,
that's wrong. You
yes,
can't
if
admit
it's
that's
one
right.
Dude,
But I'm not saying
I
one-on-one interactions, but I'm saying like, you know, like
I don't. But you got to remember too.
I can show you some videos. You can look up the Erie, PA video where they handcuffed me, the very first one. And if you want to give me an email address, I'll email it to you.
If dudes,
I'm gonna show you 5 or 6. They had 6 cops piling this guy, and they are just pounding him. He's unconscious.
You're just videoing it?
No, the security camera caught it.
No, but I'm saying, I thought you said it was you
No.
getting arrested. So my point is this: if I tell you to turn around, put your hands behind your back, lawful arrest, whatever, you're drunk, you're driving, so I'm arresting you for DWI. Turn around, put your hands behind your back. What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna turn around and put my hands behind my back because I don't want another charge.
So I don't know if that dude, and I'm not saying it's okay for 5 dudes to frickin' jump on him, but not all people are gonna do that, Dan.
No doubt.
Believe me.
And I'm not saying that a punch in the face is unlawful in certain circumstances, but I'm saying there's points when cops use excessive force.
Without a doubt.
And if I was somewhere where there was 3 cops piling on somebody and they're pounding their face, if I tried to jump in, I'm getting arrested. If I try to stop that. Now, if it was the other way around where there's 3 guys on you pounding and I jumped in, I'm not getting arrested. Both situations are wrong. So to say that I should jump in always to help a police officer, it's like, at what point can I have the right to stop police officers from doing something?
I'm a public servant, and so I'm serving and protecting. And you're not going to come, but you're going to help this another guy out who's whatever. He just had a.
I'll tell you, if it was one-on-one and you guys were duking it out because you're trying to arrest him, he didn't want to, I'm going to let you guys do your thing.
Yeah.
I'm not jumping in.
Yeah,
now, if he gets you on the bottom and he starts pulling your gun, I might tackle him. I might hold him down and help you out a little.
Sure.
But.
A little? See, that's weird to me.
Well, I mean, if I tackle somebody, it's not really a little, but, you know, I might, it would be a tough situation, you know what I mean? Like,
why? What's tough about it? I don't understand that. I'd have a hard time with that. If I seen anybody, I don't care who it is. Like if you had your gun on somebody and you lost it, I'd freaking smoke that dude. I'd smoke him. I'd knock him right on his ass until you were up, and then you could handle your business. Police or no police. That's me, man.
I'm just saying, in certain situations where, say he just punched you in the face and you could get him in handcuffs without punching him back, you should do that.
And I would.
You should do that.
And
because you are not a judge. You do get to file another felony charge on that person for doing that. Now, if it's a punch in the face and a punch in the face and a punch in the face and you got no choice but to do it, no problem. I got no problem with that. But, you know, like, I've seen situations where they got a guy in handcuffs, he spits on him, the guy punches him in the face.
I don't think there's anything more degrading than being spit on. I don't know what I'd do if I got spit on. Honestly, I'd
if you had somebody in handcuffs and you got spit on, you get to, you know what you would do? I know what you would do. You would get to charge him with the felony charge for assaulting a police officer with spit. That's what you would do. But punching him in the face?
If somebody just randomly walked up to me and spit on me right now, I would lose it. I don't think I would see straight.
And that's my point. You're
But in handcuffs,
paid to be a professional in that situation. You should be.
I get it. That's tough.
But I understand you guys are humans.
Interactions, absolutely.
But you guys are paid to be professionals.
Absolutely. But the amount, you talk of these, a lot of these incidents and stuff. I mean, what's the percentage of interactions to those types of incidents?
Ooh.
It's got to be like 0.0005%.
I could watch YouTube all day long, every day. There's new interactions with that shit, right?
Because those videos make money. You don't see all the other ones that
they don't make money. They don't make money. Is what you understand. If I posted a video of you grabbing me and handcuffing me, I'm not making money on that video. There's no money to be made. Can't make money on it. Won't monetize it.
They won't let you monetize that stuff.
What?
If there's any physical contact or handcuffing,
can't monetize. You're not making money off it.
Put the video up, but you can't monetize it.
That's why people blur that stuff out. Like, just saying, I don't know if you've seen the Erie County sheriffs that closed Abbott Road during the game. Erie County sheriffs closed the Abbott Road during the game, Bills game. There's a video out on it.
Okay.
And I walked up and I said, "Why are we closing this road? I got cars to park down in my lot." Cop goes, "I don't know. You got to talk to the higher ups." I get my orders. "I need you to back up." Boom! Instantly starts pushing me back. I couldn't make money on the video. I had to cut that out. Do I want to show the guy pushing me? Frick yeah. That's accountability. But I can't make money on it. And it's not about making money as much as it is exposure. I would rather show the video of him pushing me so people could see how this guy reacted than cut it out.
Donate the money to
that's,
charity.
I've already told you. I already told you the problem with that is. If I can put that video in front of 100,000 people to see and they get more accountability,
that's awesome. Keep that money coming in, donate it to charity, and then you're proving your point.
I do.
I think
what I do
provides
is
valuable public service.
I am a public service.
Journalists get paid.
Sure, I get it. Yeah, I understand that. But it makes me. We had this conversation earlier. It makes me wonder: are you doing it to make money? Or are you doing it because you're really trying to make a difference?
You know what? If
I get it, maybe both.
Let me put it this way: if I was doing it to make money, I could get a rise out of cops a lot easier than just filming them.
Oh, sure. But
I could come in here and I could pick everyone apart and start mocking you guys and make.
Yeah.
I can make a viral video where I can make some money.
We ain't cops forever.
But where's the integrity in that? How am I going to get the cop lovers to look at my videos and have respect for me?
What's the definition of integrity?
Integrity.
I asked him. Don't you guys jump in.
I mean,
what's the
integrity.
definition?
Dictionary definition or subjective?
Just
in my personal opinion, integrity is doing the right thing when nobody's looking.
That's exactly what it is.
So that's.
Are you doing the right thing when nobody's looking, or are you doing the right thing when nobody's looking and then making sure everybody sees it?
Well, see, that's also another reason why I started my channel. There's videos out there, right? Now, I started this because I watched other people doing it. Say I was out here taking pictures of this cop car, right? Okay. And I'm watching the police station, right? And I'm sitting there by the police car. I wait for the guy to look out the window. I duck down behind the police car, right? Okay. And I pick back up and I duck down to get the guy out to make myself look extra suspicious, right? The videos that I watch that go viral that make tons of money, they cut that part out. What they did beforehand, right?
Oh, yeah, of course.
They just come out and next thing you know, we're arguing with a cop.
Yeah,
he's trying to trust us,
the
right?
guy look bad.
But my videos, if you watch, and if you read the comments, you'll see it all the time. This is an hour-long video. You could have got it done with 15 minutes, right? The reason I post the whole video is for integrity, because I want to prove that I want to. From the second I step on that lot to the second I leave, I don't cut nothing out unless it's like a 2.5 hour long video. I start cutting out walking down hallways because. Yeah. But I mean, my integrity of my channel is there because I do post a whole video. Could I make more money if I took an hour-long video and turned it into a 5-minute video of just the interaction with the law enforcement? I definitely could. Definitely. I could probably have 3 times as many subscribers as I do now. But you know what? That's what I consider an entertainment auditor. They're there for entertainment. They're not there for accountability. That's an entertainment auditor. Just like these prank channels who throw a bucket over somebody's head. Yeah, it's fun to watch. It's funny to watch the first few times, and then I think it's a little childish. But they blow up those channels. They're prank. They make people laugh. They're fun. Just like, you know, I'm not gonna name any specific channels, but there's channels that I watched. I said, wow, this is really interesting. But I want to know what happened before this interaction.
Absolutely.
I want to know if I go out and do exactly what he said. If I go out and do exactly what he said, am I going to get the same reaction he got? Doing legitimately what he said, and I don't know. And the answer was yes, for the most part. I mean, there's instances like a real good instance of a past video would have been Niagara County. What the heck is that town out there?
Was it Newfane? Was it?
It wasn't Newfane. It was anyway. I don't know the exact name of the police department out there. I went back there, walked around their police cars. They come out. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Just taking some pictures." Just pictures? Okay.
Did they
Turn
know
around,
you?
walked away.
Did they know you?
Probably not at that point.
Exactly. So now, if I see somebody that I don't know wandering around my car,
you come ask questions.
I'm going to come ask some questions because I don't know what they're doing.
But are you going to try to ID them
know me.
if they don't want to be ID'd?
If they're doing something wrong.
Right.
If they're doing something wrong.
And I don't do nothing wrong.
Allegedly. But
believe me, if I did something wrong, there's a lot of law enforcement out there that would love to put the handcuffs on me.
But my
and the only way Albert could find the way is because my girlfriend had an insurance lapse on the car I was driving. Premeditated, nonetheless.
Sam's car?
Yeah.
Okay.
She switched insurance companies, and I don't know why someone would switch an insurance company and schedule the new insurance to happen 20 days after this. If I'm getting insurance, I want that stuff as soon as I can get it.
You got to do it today and then cancel your old stuff.
Well, the other insurance companies, they switched insurance companies. The other company's like, "Oh, you switched? Oh, fuck you."
How big do you think Albert's eyes got when he saw it was you in that car with the insurance lapse? He had to be so happy.
I'm going to tell you right now. When I passed him, within 5 seconds of him being able to physically see he was already behind me.
Yeah.
Within 20 seconds of physically being able to see it, and with no plate readers, he was at my window telling me what I was arrested for. I'm going to tell you, that man did his homework, found out which car I drove, ran the plates, and waited till I was driving by and see me. And it shows in the video on the dash cam. And then on top of it, I was video recording the whole thing. Dude friggin' destroyed my video. He's gonna end up with he may end up with a lawsuit. The lawyers,
How did he destroy the video?
because it was video recording, he pulled the battery out.
Yours was? Oh.
He pulled the battery out, which is gonna be tough to prove that he knows that would have destroyed the video, but he did in another video say I had the same camera, so maybe he knows that the battery dies.
Yeah.
But it's questionable. But I asked him in the cop car, I said, Richard, why did you shut that camera off? You violated my First Amendment rights. He goes, if you're so smart, why'd you end up in prison? No, that's a violation of his policy right there. That's not being professional. You know what I mean? Like, he obviously retaliated, and I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like him. I don't know if you know about the police officer who tuned him up in the locker room. No? There's a Lancaster police officer.
I'll have to ask around.
The guy's name is Andy, who tuned him up. He's also retired from Lancaster.
Oh, yeah,
so
yeah. That's a long time ago.
That was a while back there.
Yeah.
But Richard Albert was putting cartoons or something on people's lockers in the locker room, being a smart ass.
What's up, man?
What's up, brother?
How you doing, kid?
Good, you?
Good to see you.
Where'd you get this big detail?
They take care of the old guys sometimes.
What's that?
I gotta start heading back to the kids.
Go make your rounds.
But well, I'm just saying. Like, so I finished my Richard Albert story. So,
Okay,
so you can ask around to hear about it. So Richard Albert was putting cartoons or something, making fun of people on lockers, and this Andy dude tuned him up in the locker room,
Was he
got a
really
few days
happy
of
about it?
suspension. And I'm waiting for Richard Albert to be a smartass one day. I'd be like, Richard, I would think you would learn from being a smartass when freaking what's his name tuned you up in the back room. And I'll wait to see his eyes be like, how do you know about that? You know what I mean? Like, people talk though, you know. People don't like that guy. They don't like him.
I know, that's what I hear.
But
Oh well.
I do appreciate getting to talk to you.
No problem.
And I do want to bridge that gap between the state police and that. Whether if I make a petty video, it's because cops write petty tickets, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Sometimes,
Sometimes.
like cop writes a petty ticket, now I'm going to make a petty video about him smoking in the cop car. Is that a petty video? Of course it's petty, but that was the point.
Cop car, they're allowed to.
No, you can't smoke in the county car. I don't know if the state troopers are allowed to smoke in the cop cars, but I
To smoke
guarantee.
in the public eye. Maybe we can't smoke in the car. I don't know. I'm not a smoker.
No,
well.
there's no way. You can't smoke in a public building. You can't smoke in a public cop car.
Yeah, you might be right. I don't know.
Maybe back in the 80s before that law happened, it
Yeah,
might not have
could
been a
be.
thing, but there's a law, about it. But, I'm not out there to fry police. I don't hate police. I could put a past video out there. It hurts the channel because that's not what people want to see. But at the same time, if somebody does something good, I want to give them props. Just as much as I want to fry a bad cop, I want to show a good cop.
I want you to fry.
I want to.
I want you to fry all the bad guys because I don't like them either.
Exactly, and that's why you should appreciate the channel.
I told you, some stuff I do. Some stuff I think is, you're just embarrassing an old lady sometimes.
Well, sometimes she should know our rights. Like them old ladies, the
Maybe
clerks,
she's just
those old lady clerks swore the same oath you
Because-
swore to
and
uphold my
what's
First
funny
Amendment
is
right in them
What
offices.
you got to be careful with is too, is some of these old ladies have like little farm boy grandsons and stuff like that they're nuts. I deal with them on a regular basis, so you got to be careful.
That goes back down to those founding fathers were willing to sacrifice
Okay, well,
freedom.
Be careful what you're going to hang your hat on, bro, because you embarrass somebody's grandmother, you're going to come back with
I got threatened.
fists of flying, huh?
I got threatened before.
Yeah, I'm sure, but I'm just saying, be careful.
I get just as many threats as I'm sure you do at times.
Oh yeah, I'm
But
sure.
like I said, I'm not out here to make clicks and views and money. If
Yeah.
I was, I could think of better videos to post. Secondly, if I wanted to make fools of police, I could antagonize, cut that out, and just show the bad interactions and make a lot of money.
Sure.
I could, but you don't see that on my channel. You never will, because I do want integrity, and I expect the Erie County family that watches mine to have integrity. I mean, like, unfortunately, some of these places get some redress. It's pretty vulgar. I don't agree with it. I wish it didn't happen. It would make my life easier to bridge that gap with you guys. But if I make too big of a point that you shouldn't do that, you know what's going to happen. Them trolls or even police officers are going to make them phone calls and make me look worse.
Yeah.
So you can't point it out too bad. So I mean, I do my best. And if I can get some tips from you on how to do it better, I'm all ears.
I'm going to end it up like this. Assembly and speech. There's
There
your
you go. First cop to actually name all 5.
Didn't know when I was going to get called out. Dan.
Super trooper. But hey, maybe that video made you learn. maybe that video made you make sure you knew it. Maybe.
Get me prepared, just in case.
But that's positive change.
Sure, but I don't need to know it to do the right thing. I don't need to memorize it to
Well,
do the right thing.
some cops need to know it, so when they get that one-handed middle finger, of course, one-handed middle finger, they're not pulling them over.
1226 is a big deal.
Nice talking to you.
We live in a society now where people want to record how they discipline their child. People that might get mad with this video is the people that probably already embarrassed their child. You can discipline your child in their room. Take something away from them. If they act up, well, I'm like, son, you can't play the game.
You were a jerk to me? Well, guess what? Now no break. Do you know what I'm saying?
Let me interrupt you quick.
Go ahead.
Dan,
How you doing?
big fan of the channel. I watch all your stuff. And
Got some Erie County fam
J-Town.
down here.
There you go. J-Town and Long Island.
You came to
Water.
shake my hand, not yours. I just want to point you out. No, I just kidding.
It's all good.
You pull the Constitution out of your pockets on here. Like that was supposed to prove something.
First Amendment, freedom of the press.
We have every right to film out here and there. Your name is not Dan Erie County.
This isn't Erie County.
Yeah. Sure it is. I'm here as Dan Erie County.
Legitimate? Maybe. Official? No.